folks. A few weeks ago we uploaded some collector booster boxes onto YouTube, and I said then that I was going to do a quick review video at some point looking at the pull rates versus what WoTC said we should pull, and also the value comparison from pre-release weekend to now. So this is that video. Wizards of the Coast update their website with all the information pertaining to the set before it's released. So it's got things like the chase card, which was the Sothera Super Void, borderless, textless, stellar sights, viewport lands, the special guests. It's got a whole host of information pertaining to the new set that's coming out. For the analytics element of it, we are primarily interested in the data at the bottom, where it shows you what you can expect to get and how frequently and the different booster packs. For us, with Edge of Eternities, there were 4 slots we were interested in. The first one was the Celestial Land slot, then the non-foil booster fun, then the Stellar Sights, then the foil booster fun. When you scroll down to the bottom of that page, you see all of these numbers. They're not particularly intuitive to read, so what I have done is I've actually transposed that information into a more readable table. So I hope this makes more sense than just the raw numbers from before. In the top table we've got the Celestial Basic Lands and the non-foil booster fun. In the middle table we've got the Stellar Sights lands, and in the bottom one we've got the foil booster fun cards. In the top row of each table is the total expected from your average box based on the numbers from WoTC. And so we moved out from that, we've got box 1 in the next row, box 2 in the following, and box 3 in the last. So when you look at these, they're kind of up and down for the different boxes as you would expect, but generally these tend to average out quite well. We were short on the Celestial Lands, expecting 12, we only got 10, but there were other places where we did better, like the Fracture Foil, which we got in box 3. You're only expecting to see one of them at 10 boxes, so we get quite fortunate there. So these tables here show the combined expected value from all of the boxes, with the top row being the total expected, the middle one being the actual pulls, and the bottom one being whether we were plus minus. And like I said, it all kind of averages out. You can see from the non-foil booster fun, we got the expected amount of viewport lands, slightly down on extended arts, but we got more ultimate art versions, which is preferable. From slot 2 in the Stellar Land side, Stellar Sight lands, we ended up slightly under Stellar Sights, slightly over Stellar Posters, with the foils being less, but the Galaxy foils being about where they were expected to be. And for the final foil booster fun slot, we did well in the Fracture foil, as I've said. Japanese Showcase, we were actually short, marginally. Special guests, we performed better than average, getting almost a whole 1 extra. Viewport lands, we get less, but we did get that Galaxy foil viewport. And the alternate arts, again, were a bit under, with extended arts being a bit over. So overall, I think if you're buying these things and you're buying in bulk, if you're buying boxes rather than individual boosters, you kind of tend to get, on average, what you would expect. But we'll talk more about that when I go into the finance section. I should caveat this section, or at least put some sort of disclaimer on, that the way you see value is not necessarily the same way that we interpret value. It's one of those words that has dual meanings and everybody thinks they understand, but we maybe get slightly different definitions of it. For us, we're not necessarily interested in the financial value that we open up. We aim to collect one of everything in each set, and we have done since Bloomberg was released. And we want the coolest version of the card if it's possible. So that's why we get these things. We're not necessarily interested in making a profit or selling cards on the secondary market. That being said, I think most people are interested in the intrinsic value of the cards themselves, and it's a much easier metric to measure. So that's what you're looking at just now. You can see at the very bottom of the table, we've put what the box would have been worth on pre-release weekend if we had sold it immediately. Just above that, you've got the total that it's worth now, as of today, the date this video goes live. And you can immediately see that box 1 would have made a loss if we were to sell everything now. $8 less than we paid for it. We paid $310 once you've converted it from Swiss francs. What I found more interesting looking at this rather than the overall profit or loss of the box was looking at the individual packs and comparing that to the MSRP. So for box 1, I've marked in red the boosters that would have been less than the MSRP, and you can see that half of them would have not returned a profit if you were looking to get what you paid for in monetary terms. What's even more appalling, and I'd never noticed this before in collector boosters, was that pack 8 was only worth $2, just over $2, and pack 11 was worth 0. There was absolutely nothing of value in pack 11. Box 2 made a profit when we compare it to the prices now, largely based on the number of Galaxy foils that we pulled. You can see there that 7 of the packs were valued at above MSRP, 5 of them less than it. Nothing quite as bad as box 1, everything had some value, but the lowest value pack in box 2 was $7.67. Now, we still came out ahead overall on box 2, going by today's prices rather than last weekend's, but you can see there's a huge difference, right? $250 of difference there. And that would highlight to me that you probably shouldn't be paying pre-release prices if you're buying individual cards. Wait a week or so and get them when the price starts to drop. Box 3 I think was quite an interesting one. Again, we came out ahead overall, but you could actually argue that we did worse than box 3 than any other box, because if you look at it, 8 of those packs were below the MSRP, only 4 of them returned higher than $25, and the box profit overall is largely down to one card, that is the Sothera fracture foil that we pulled. If it hadn't been for that, this box would have been a disaster. So looking at this overall, I think if you're looking to make money, you probably shouldn't be buying collector boosters. It's quite random. Some of the boxes are going to be great, some of them will be a disaster. You certainly shouldn't be buying individual collector boosters. If you're going to buy them as a box, and at least that way it averages out. The only way to beat variance is volume. If you follow this channel, you'll hear me say that fairly frequently. The other thing that I would say is that last weekend, pre-release weekend, we tried to get hold of another couple of boxes to do some more openings. The cheapest price we could find in Switzerland was $450 a box. The cheapest individual booster was $40. Now those are obviously scalping prices, right? Someone has bought up all the product because it was incredibly difficult to get a hold of, and they're now charging a premium for it. None of our boxes, even our best box, hit the scalping price. Very few of the boosters topped the $40 scalping price. So I guess the overall advice from me would be buy from your local game store, don't buy from scalpers, and if you're looking for cards, wait a week or so after pre-releases happened and buy them when that price has started to dip. So I don't really have anything more to say on the Edge of Eternities collector booster box openings. I hope you enjoyed that. It's probably a wee bit different. I appreciate that not everyone out there is as big a numbers nerd as maybe I am. But thanks for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button if you did like it. We will not be doing Spider-Man box openings, which is a shame because we've bought collector booster boxes for every set since Blimbera was released. But Spider-Man is just a bit too far out of the MTG universe for us to buy into it. So instead we'll be going backwards from Blimbera, getting ourselves some Outlaws of Thunder Junction, and I'll upload them as collector booster openings. And if there was interest in doing this box breakdown or analytics, I'll do the same again. I hope you have a good weekend when it comes. I hope all of your packs are incredible when you open them. And yeah, enjoy turning things sideways.